Welcome to Dragon Call above.
Dragon
That's
Call.
basically what it is now.
Dragon Call.
I got
Dragon.
I got dragon on the brain.
Yeah.
It is now.
Welcome to Dungeon Call above boards for way into the world of Dungeons and Dragons. We got a little. We're very dragon oriented the last couple episodes. Let me introduce the players. As always, we have over here Alexa Cappiello.
I'm Batman.
Shea Parker.
Say it 3 times, that's how you know it's good.
Yeah, that's how we get him to be here. You say his name 3 times. Brian Spillane.
Right here for your pleasure.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Oh, okay.
Is that written on the box?
And Jason Charles Miller.
No one's taking my dragon egg.
Exactly. And over on the other side, we have Leif Gantvoort.
Yeah, I guess so.
Dan Billet. Ashleigh Morghan.
I got a pimp cane.
And of course, Becca Scott.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Oh my goodness. We're starting off this episode just off the rails.
Feisty.
So, when we last left our story,
We were sleeping.
yes,
Nap time.
we were going through a trove. And that probably won't end quite yet. So, after identifying a few items, including the pimp staff.
Rod of pimpery.
Rod of pimpery, apparently. We took a long rest. And, yes.
If we do take a long rest, do we have time for a little dream watching? It's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If you would like to dream walk, we can absolutely do that.
She's been dying to, and
I
it just
know.
there hasn't been a moment for that it felt right,
Sure.
and she'd like to try again because, gosh, it was so fun last time.
Absolutely. Let's go for it. Who would you like to enter in? Whose dream would you like to enter into?
Well, she's been twisting this ring around her finger ever since she got it, so she's going to enter Laric's dream, or try at least.
All right.
See if she's already in there.
Hello.
We'll see.
Hello.
Hello.
So.
So,
The DC to gain useful information from the target's dream is 10 plus wisdom modifier plus proficiency bonus of the dreamer.
Yes.
And then I do charisma plus proficiency bonus.
Yes. So you're going to make a roll.
Do we want to explain to the audience what I'm doing?
Sure.
It's been a bit.
Sure, that's what I was about to do.
Yeah.
So for those of you who haven't seen this happen before, quite a few episodes back now, I guess.
Or for those of us who might have forgotten.
Exactly.
True.
So Nyx is a follower of the god of Pallas, who is the god of sleep, dreams, and hidden desire. And as a follower of Pallas, she is a dream watcher, which allows her to dream walk and move into people's dreams to observe and see if she can see and uncover a secret, as that's what what the followers of Pallas are all about, are secrets. So she can leave her body and enter into the weave, which is what we call the world of dreams on Lear. And in this case, she's going to enter into the weave surrounding Laric to try and see if she can observe something within Laric's dreams that would be a secret of sorts. So let's go ahead and roll and see how much you...
So it'd be my total charisma plus my proficiency bonus?
Yes, so it'd be whatever your charisma...
So 13 plus 2, and can Zin help me?
No.
Dang it.
So that's a +3 in total.
13 plus
So 13 plus...
plus proficiency bonus of the
So
dreamer.
15. So you're going for a DC of 15, you're adding 3 to the roll.
Ooh, we'll see.
And while she's doing that, did you tell us earlier, like, if she misrolls, we are aware that she's in our dream?
Not necessarily, no.
Oh, so we can never catch her in our dreams, basically.
You can potentially, but only if she tries to interfere.
You dream of a big net.
I didn't find out anything, so.
13.
13. So you were not able, well, you were able to enter his dream, but, he was dreaming about eating cheese or something. So there was nothing interesting.
cheese?
Yeah, there was nothing interesting.
Eating rat cheese?
Yeah.
No, real cheese. I mean, I didn't
You don't
always,
get much from a rat, and
well,
to
I
mix
didn't
that
always
little.
get to eat real cheese.
Yeah.
So I dream about eating real cheese, not rat cheese.
So you did not learn a secret from that attempt.
All right, till next
But there's
time.
always next
I
time.
love cheese.
You
learned that.
You know he likes
eating
cheese. There you
Small
go.
secrets and big secrets.
All right. So, after spending some time with some of these items, and therefore attuning to those items, we have learned some things. I'm going to start with the least interesting to the most interesting here. The amulet. The amulet, once you attune to it, you very quickly learn what it does. The amulet conveys to its wearer a natural AC of 14 and a resistance to fire and lightning. Also, as a result of wearing the amulet, you would grow red and golden scales on the back of your neck and down your spine. Kind of like the spots from Deep Space Nine, that kind of thing. Yeah, you approve. So that could help you, but
think
it
it would help
wouldn't
someone
help you
else.
as much as it would help someone who
Yes.
can't wear armor.
And is not already resistant to fire.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So that's what I will, however, hand that over so you can have it for now, and we can decide. You can decide
Guys,
what you want to do.
DM me if you think, this would
Exactly.
be cool. Yeah, so,
We then have the ring, the silver band. So,
Probably mine.
The helmet one or the?
Yeah,
Dragon.
there's two.
so
this
this
one's
is what I'm
evil.
saying, the silver banded dragon.
okay.
So this is the Ring of the Worm, Sky Streamer. All that you know about this, but you can detect, you can tell that if you knew more about the item and maybe spent subsequent days with the item over time, you would learn more. But the only thing that you know for now is that you can use the cantrip Gust at will.
Oh.
That is the only thing that you know now, but you do know there is more to the ring.
Probably would have been helpful with the sand creature we were fighting.
Yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, just throw water on it.
Well, when I get strong enough, I'll go back in time and cast Gust on it.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly. The sphere does not require attunement. You have no idea what that. Whoa. So
Apparently you have no idea.
at dawn,
Yeah.
which while you were like, I don't know what this thing, I don't understand what it's, a pulse of energy is released, and you happen to be touching it when that happens. Now, you don't feel any different. You're not sure what that pulse was, but it was a noticeable, definite pulse that happened. It passed through you. You felt it like a jolt of energy, but you're not sure what it did, and you're not sure whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. But at dawn, it pulsed.
At dawn.
Cool.
Tubular.
GPS.
The cloak. You pretty much know everything about this thing now, because when you attune to it, by its very nature, you kind of have to know how this works. So this is a very powerful item you've got hold of.
Really?
Yes. So this is called the Cloak of the Void. It is an Oracle Arcane item, requires attunement. This simple black cloak is actually an incredible powerful pocket dimension, much like a bag of holding. The inside of the cloak is the entrance to the dimension. The wearer knows the exact contents of the cloak and can call forth the contents at any time. They can use the cloak to call such objects directly to their hand, as if their hands were just down there. They can reach into the cloak inside the cloak within your, and reach any object directly to their hand, or to the space they are standing in, or to the space right in front of them. You can just flow out of the cloak into that space. Anything held in the cloak is in stasis and does not affect any other objects inside the cloak. So it's much different than a bag of holding in that you could have, a very messy, moist item that you put in a cloak, and it
Hard
wouldn't
candy could
affect
be down in there,
It wouldn't affect any other
Kleenex
items that are in the cloak.
Oh, no, that's
and
not
that
purse.
item is in stasis while it is in the cloak, which means that time does not pass on that item. So if you have food that you place in there, and that food will not rot nor spoil while it is in the cloak. Or if you had a puppy and you put the puppy in there, the puppy would not grow old, would not starve, would not be affected until it is taken back out of the cloak. Yes.
Or a dragon.
Wait, a puppy?
Or dragon eggs. A living thing may be placed in the cloak if they are either willing or unconscious. The fabric of the cloak cannot be torn or cut by any means, but it will not act as a form of protection for the wearer. Anything that can pass through the interior space of the cloak that does not exceed the weight limit of the void within can be enveloped. The only thing that cannot enter into the void is the wearer themselves. The weight capacity of the cloak is 5,000 pounds. Now,
Nice item.
So I
Yes.
have an entire room of requirement inside.
inside the cloak.
my cloak.
The cloak is, you can place anything in it, and I've given this out before, you can be very creative with how this cloak works. Because as long as it doesn't exceed, because it's in stasis and it doesn't affect anything else in the cloak, you can put some pretty gnarly, weird things inside that cloak. And when you bring them out, they can have some pretty strange and weird effects.
Someone's coming, quick! Let's all hide in the cloak.
We have giant home.
Can we hide in your cloak? Hide in my cloak.
As long as you don't exceed 5,000 pounds, you can absolutely hide in that cloak if you are willing. Now, you are being placed into stasis, so time does not pass for you while you're in that cloak.
Weird.
And she controls whether you come back out of it.
And what if something happens to her while we're in the cloak?
Well, again, the cloak can't be harmed.
Got it.
If something happens to her and she dies and the cloak passes it to somebody else, you better hope they want to take you out of the cloak. So there is a big danger.
Know our name.
There's a big danger of hiding everybody in the cloak.
So who's in the cloak right now?
We only know if we send somebody
Is
in to
there,
look.
is there anything? No,
There is currently nothing in the cloak. The cloak has been emptied. But this is particularly good for things that are bulky or mounts or
Big old tomes.
big old tomes or big statues or that kind of
Just take
stuff.
all the statues.
So I'm
Also,
I'm
if you
everyone's
happen to
bag.
have something really, really heavy in the cloak,
Bag lady takes
like
me
an
to a meeting.
anvil, and you
could
are
drop
on a
it.
bridge and you throw an anvil out, like there are some very weird and fun things you can do with the cloak.
It was made by Acme, by the way. This
It-
cloak.
I don't say this very often. This cloak is designed to break things, like break the rules. This cloak is designed to think outside the box and make my life hell.
Great.
So that's
Outside the cloak.
I always
Think
love
inside
giving
the
this
cloak.
this
Think
item
inside
out
the cloak.
because I loved again to see what people do with it.
Do we have to tell you what goes in there, or we can just be like, and then I pull out?
No, you gotta
gotta-
tell me what's
yeah.
in there because I need to know what's going in the cloak. You can't just say, and I pull a chicken out because I put the chicken in there when I was in the village and didn't tell you about it. But you can put a chicken in the
We
cloak.
should put a chicken in there
How
for later.
cool.
Put a
Can
parachute
we
in
eat that
cloak.
chicken?
Yeah, I should.
But it also allows you to have weapons and stuff like that, go to places that you don't have weapons and all of a sudden have weapons in your hands.
Right.
I was hoping for invisibility, but this works.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't you already have
better.
invisibility?
Yeah, that's all I can do. I suppose that's all.
So we come to the last item.
2 more.
Well,
No, for
the last item for attunements. I think we're out of attunements.
That's this guy.
We have a lot more items that haven't been, but the most powerful item here.
Staff?
Pimp cane.
Interesting combination. The most powerful item with the, I don't know, track record-wise, maybe
Yeah.
most irresponsible among us.
Oh,
So,
Brian, don't
Believe in yourself,
give
man.
yourself
I would agree with that.
title.
Oh,
That's
Brian.
stand.
So, Brian-
Self-proclaimed.
Yes.
you have a dream that night.
Okay.
You dream of a tall black tower,
Okay.
9 floors high, on a dark plain, somewhere you've never been. The tower however, is a thing of beauty. You walk throughout the tower and its various floors. You go up to the top of the tower where there are battlements on the tower and look out.
Am I in a robe?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You're
Open
fully
in the
clothed.
front.
All right.
Dick still
He's
has
fully
nightmares
clothed in
about
this-
that,
in
by
this
the
dream.
way.
That
He
would be
promised
more of a
them
nightmare
pleasure.
than a dream.
He did
I
say
admit.
pleasure, so he's in the robe.
You're fully clothed in this dream. Like I said, 9 floors.
Okay.
The bottom floor has a stables set up in it and an entryway. Each floor has it's a very, very large tower. I mean, it's a you could probably have 16 to 20 people living in this tower. Immaculate furniture and accoutrement, as well as secrets that you can feel are there, but you're not exactly sure that what they are. But the back of your neck tingles that this is a very complex and interesting place. And then you wake up from the dream, and you know that that tower is in your hands.
Whoa.
Okay.
You can keep a cloak in there.
It is a magical staff. In fact, it's a +3 magical staff,
Wow.
Dang.
which is a very, very high plus,
Yeah.
especially for
Yeah.
4th level.
Yeah.
I can handle it. I think I've proven
If you
that I
can figure out how to unlock,
Uh-huh.
there is a way to make that staff into that tower. You're not sure what that way is yet.
Okay.
That's a secret that you have to unlock somehow.
All right.
But you know that there is a way for you to slam that staff onto the ground and have that staff grow into that tower.
Wow.
If you can figure out how.
Naked and in a robe. I
Yeah,
bet.
literally.
I bet that's how
He's
it
never
happens.
seen this tower before, though?
Never seen that tower.
Just in my dream.
But he knows that that tower is locked
this-
within that staff.
Is locked within
Happy.
this staff. All right.
That is the darkened tower that you're holding.
All right. Wow.
Yep.
Well, I
Very
did it.
cool, Brian.
Say I was
Very
gonna
cool.
do
For
it.
magical,
Those
for
don't
your first
attune.
magical item,
they
I
don't.
mean,
Okay.
you
Those
got
don't
a pretty
attune.
good
Hit it
one.
out
So
of the park, Brian.
the other
How
items
come?
don't have attunements, so therefore you don't really learn anything because you don't have
have
to
a
attune.
cloak, I would want.
Those would be more.
Sorry, did we go over this evil ring yet?
Doesn't have an attunement.
Oh, so okay. You just said that.
All the other items don't have attunements, therefore they would take and identify. To
Oh, so we
align with
don't.
there.
We need to
spending, by
identify.
spending time with them, it doesn't.
If it
do-
doesn't attune,
Right.
then you again in regular Dungeons and Dragons, just spending time with an item, you know what they are. I don't like that. I like there being a certain level of mystery, things being doled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That is the information that you have learned so far. The one thing I will ask is, you were kind of hot on this before. Do you try and use the filter of the hidden door to figure out the book at all?
I would love to, yes. We need to open it first.
Yes. So, and I will say that you could probably do this before you guys go to sleep, because I would imagine you kind of want to do that as part of the long rest that you guys just took. So it's 14 is what you need. So
Can Zin help me?
Zin can help on this one, so you can
Great.
get advantage. And it would be, you also have thieves tools, so it would be +2 to your dexterity check.
Yeah, 20.
All right. So make
24, actually. Sorry.
So make one check mark to indicate that one use of it has been unlocked. That's kind of how you keep track of what the DC will be next. So the DC will be 16 next. I would imagine you're going to take a draft of it now.
Drink up.
All right. Drink it up.
Drink it. Actually, drink it, Shay. Come
Yeah.
here.
What does it taste
Come on,
like?
commit.
It tastes like
drink it.
blueberries.
It
Tastes like toast.
Be a method actor.
About schnozberries.
Rat cheese.
Schnozberries.
This smells
It,
like
it tastes a little like root beer, if you knew what root beer was, which I personally find disgusting. But
I like beer.
it's my wife's favorite drink, and I cannot stand root beer.
What about sarsaparilla?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
no?
cream soda more.
What about sarsaparilla?
All right, so
Sioux
the
City
book.
sarsaparilla.
this is a massive book of dragon lore, collections of poems and sonnets, as well as many intricate illustrations. It's over 3,000 pages, and that script, and you realize this very quickly as you start to read through it, it will take days and days and days. But this is written in the secret script of the Oracle Arcane. What it does tell you is a little bit about where you are. So the Oracle Arcane, many of them worshipped dragons. Dragons, the Oracle Arcane's mission in life was to discover power that existed outside of the gods. They believed, foolishly, some might say, that there were sources of power outside of divine power. That arcane energies could be collected and harnessed that did not come directly from a god. And so this particular branch of the Oracle Arcane believed that the key to that were dragons. That dragons that their essence did not come directly from a god. That especially dragons like shadow dragons, although Jaka is drawn to shadow dragons and shadow dragons are considered a holy creature to a certain extent. Shadow dragons do not worship Jaka. Shadow dragons do not get their powers from them, and shadow dragons were not created by the god Jaka. So that is kind of where they started, is with shadow dragons. So this place was a temple of learning and study of dragons, and to a certain extent, I wouldn't call it worship, but great admiration. That's what this place was. It was a place of great study and experimentation. It dates back, so it dates back to the Age of Creation, and the first entry in it is from 582, Old Reckoning, which would place this book about 2,000 or more years old. As the Old Reckoning went up to 1740, and we're in 1136, New Reckoning right now.
Just a little light reading.
Yeah.
I've got some reading for quite a long time.
Travis,
Very
question about the world. When
Are
does,
there any good dragon jokes in there?
sorry, does the Gods War happen before this book or after?
No, after. So, and I this is something I really should print out and give to you with the different ages of Lear. But the Age of Creation, so it was Age of Man, Age of Creation, Age of Darkness, and then Age of Conflict, which was the Gods' War. New Reckoning, one of New Reckoning was the start of the Gods' War. So anything that took place in Old Reckoning was before the Gods' War.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great to have that.
And it was four of New Reckoning that was the Tower Fall during Tyr's Barrage. So the time period that you guys are trying to travel back to using the Infinity Well is year 4 of New Reckoning, which, like I said, is 1,132 years ago.
Okay.
The thing that I think I will, if I can look for anything specific in this book, is what it has to say about shadow dragons specifically. If it
Sure.
has specific areas on specific types of dragons.
Sure.
That's what I wanna
And so go ahead and make a study check,
know.
and we'll see how high you're able to make on that, and we'll see.
What skill are we talking? Investigation? I'm looking for something specific.
Sure, investigation.
And
yeah.
now you have advantage on all study
I do.
actions, so.
Oh
Look
yeah,
at that.
yeah. Yeah. Just think.
Nice.
Appreciate the advantage. So that's going to be a 21.
21, that's pretty good. So, like I said, one of the things you find out very early on is that shadow dragons were the impetus for their study, because shadow dragons are such a raw and primal source of magic. They are considered, by the Oracle Arcane, and even today, probably the most magical creature on planet Lear. There's extensive talk about shadow dragons in there. Shadow dragons are unbelievably smart. They think on a completely different level. Oracle Arcanes think that shadow dragons view the world much the same way Time Walkers do, and that they see time as being not linear, but
Wibbly wobbly.
wibbly wobbly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremy
that is the other side of
Jeremy is how they
linear.
see time.
Yeah.
Is wibbly wobbly.
But so that's an interesting thing that you probably didn't know up to this point and never read before. They have a hidden agenda, having studied to the best of their ability shadow dragons. They also think, they're not sure, but it's a theory, that they have a shared mind. That all shadow dragons are
Whoa.
all shadow dragons.
Like a hive mind?
Now, they can't prove that, but very interesting passage that you discover is that either all shadow dragons have a hive mind, or that there is only one shadow dragon. And that every time you meet with a shadow dragon,
The same one.
you are meeting the same shadow dragon.
That's why
Have
what
two
I asked
shadow
about
dra-
that statue.
Have two shadow dragons ever been seen at the same time?
Nope.
Like, I'm just kidding.
We have an egg.
But
Oh,
we
we
have
do
a
have
shadow
an egg.
dragon.
An egg.
You do.
Does that mean that one replaces the next when it's born, I wonder? Maybe
They're
it's
not
his-
sure.
Maybe it's his
They
time.
know that an egg exists, and they mention the fact that they actually have one for study. But they're not sure whether that egg represents the beginning of existing shadow dragons, because they don't view time the way that we do, or whether that egg was laid by a shadow dragon, and that, again, that there's a hive mind, that they share consciousness. But there are too many weird coincidences when they've tried to have conversations with shadow dragons, that they seem to know things that they would only know if they had communicated intimately about other situations. So it's a very weird oddity.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting question, and you rolled a high roll.
Can I just ask a fun question?
Yeah.
Can shadow dragons manipulate time?
That is a good question. I don't know.
Shadow
job,
dragons
Ashleigh.
manipulate time?
Well, I mean, they
they
are.
think like time walkers.
They are in essence prime magic. So if theoretically, I mean, time magic is a thing.
Yes. What this reminds me of is honestly the story of how Nigellin came to be, because Nigellин's mother was human, and she believed that the gods are not the source of magic, and convinced Nigellin's father,
Lear.
convinced Lear to at least hear her out. And he would talk to her and would tell her, look at me, I'm a god, I have power. And she says, well, I have faith in something else. And so it is somewhat similar to the belief of the Order Arcane, that the Oracle Arcane, that maybe the source of power in general is not of the gods. So the dragons get their power from something else, potentially. And because of the union of a person who believes this and Lear himself, we have Nigellin, who has a view of all time. And so that, I don't know that these dragons could manipulate time, but maybe they see it like we do.
Making a check on Arcana
I have a
for me,
question.
just real quick.
Would
Are
I
you
have-
saying Nigellin's mother proved once and for all that nagging works?
Hence the
Someone will
name.
believe you. Hence,
Nagellin.
Nagellin.
I have talked to a lot of people in college who believe that. Do I have advantage on this?
You do not.
No, okay.
This is just a piece of information. I'm curious to know whether you know.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, what did you roll?
An 8.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
I hate it when it's like you can see it's on the 20 and then it rolls to the 2.
I know.
Just it's insulting, honestly.
So-
personal.
There's one more thing that happened in the night.
Yes.
I sneak over while Laric is sleeping, and I touch him on the cheek and I whisper, "Fumble proof," and then I run away and get back in my sleeping area and close my eyes.
Cheese.
Rat cheese.
Not rat cheese. Why do you keep
cheese.
not rat cheese?
Rat cheese.
Go
Good
ahead and
cheese, yummy
pass
cheese.
that down to him. So that is the book. And there's so much information in that book that you can learn over time. But we can talk about ways for you maybe to try and slowly learn Oracle Arcane, that language.
Yeah.
It's a very, very complex language. But you're pretty smart.
Yeah, Teal's like a kid at Christmas, like with this enormous book, and then the effects of the potion only last for an hour.
For an hour,
So as soon
yeah.
as the hour goes, I'm like, no! I don't want to go to bed.
But it's a heavy book, right?
Yeah.
Put it in the cloak.
Wonder where we could put it.
Pages.
I wonder where it could go. I love the image of just like flopping it open and sitting on it, and then it's just gone.
I almost forgot the most important piece of information that you learned.
Yeah.
Those statues, those magical statues, are designed to hatch a dragon egg.
What?
And each one of those statues is designed for a different one of the dragon species.
That's so cool.
So,
The
now,
dragon.
it does specify that there, and you unfortunately don't get to it before you, but there is very complex things you have to do to enable that magic. You can't just put the egg in there and wait 5 minutes and
Not like a
it
microwave?
hatches. But that's exactly what those statues are for. No, and when you do look at those statues, you will see that an egg fits right into those statues as if it's then cradling those eggs. It wasn't immediately obvious that was the case because each one has a different design. But there's definitely an egg and only a specific egg as you kind of mess around with it with your egg and the statues. One egg fits into one statue. It's each egg is just slightly different enough that apparently those statues were designed and minted specifically for the eggs that you guys are holding.
But I don't want to let it go. They grow up so fast.
And yes, those statues are rather heavy, but probably can be moved.
So there's two sets of, there's like the rock stone sculptures that in the
Right.
room we fought
The
in.
giant
These are
things.
different.
These,
are the
what I'm
ballistic
saying is
types.
the small statues
Got
that
it.
I was mentioning, the
Yes, obsidian, ivory.
yeah, silver dragon with sapphire eyes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those 8 statues, they're about this size.
Okay.
So they're large,
the
but they're more like the kind of statuary that you might find in a home.
How heavy do you
Home
think they
Depot.
are?
They're probably at least 100 pounds apiece.
No, well.
Light
Well,
work.
under
Nowhere
5,000
near
pounds.
5,000.
It's fine. I got
That's
that.
light work.
So are we just like sliding everything off the tables into
Yeah.
the cloak?
Well, you don't have to. All she has
just,
to do.
She just has to walk by them.
Yep. All she has to do is she
Drape
just
it over
walks
them.
by. She just walks
so
by
good
and.
for pickpocketing.
Oh yes, it is. It's really good for stealing
The
stuff.
problem is you pickpocket a whole person.
Yeah, that's the downside.
That's fine too. They don't die.
So-
they have to like
So
it.
basically, we're taking everything, like the short swords, the haircut.
You
If
can.
it's not nailed down,
yes. So
it's going in
everything
the
that's
cloak.
on
Going
this
in the cloak.
list,
We'll just take the list.
there is no monetary treasure as far as like piles of gold or anything,
Right.
but
But the golden hairbrush is probably worth something.
I can
exactly
get-
all
Yes.
those things that they're extreme. They're probably worth a lot
Yeah.
if you can
Don't
find the right person
worry,
to sell them.
I'll keep it safe.
Yeah.
Wait, we don't want to try to put our eggs into
I'm
the statues
kidding, I
before we
actually
put them
will.
away?
Well, again, just putting the eggs into the statue won't
Not
won't cause them to hatch. He had read enough to know that there are specific rituals and even in some cases places you have to do that ritual in. For example, a good example of what you kind of read was obviously if you are birthing a cascade dragon, you can't do it in a desert. You have to be someplace where that can happen and it has the right environment for that.
Now, what happens when one births a dragon? Does it become our pet?
Well, he didn't read far enough to know.
I guess not.
Keep reading.
I did read though the other book about the birthing a care of dragons.
Yes.
So
that was more talking about smaller dragons,
yes.
but yeah.
But I think I would imagine, even with the smaller dragon, Tinderbox dragon is dangerous.
Oh yeah.
Like dragons are wild. They're wild animals. Like potentially it will imprint on us, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we will be safe from them.
Yeah.
So
Good thing I know a thing about animals, Teal.
yes.
Travis, did you
Kind
read
of.
a lot of How to Train Your Dragon? Is that
No.
why it was inspired?
Well,
this?
yeah. That didn't inspire this, but yes.
But did.
I did see the movies and I do like them. All right, so actually I can give you the staff card because I didn't put anything on it that you don't know yet.
Great. I will continue to learn.
Yeah. You're gonna have to unlock the secrets of that to really make it happen. So. Are we leaving, or are we doing any other business before we leave this area?
It's the morning now.
It is now the morning.
I'm ready to kick this
During
up
my
some stairs.
shift, I diligently made 3 glass bottles, and I captured spells in them, and I'd like to distribute them.
Sure.
And I run
That
over.
worked out pretty well last time.
It did. So I run over to Nyx, and I say, "Hey, Nyx, I saw that you were in jeopardy in recent battles, and I want to do what I can to help protect you next battle."
I was fine.
I know, but not an insult. Just me caring for you. It's okay. People can care about you. It's allowed. Take that, and hopefully that shield of faith might serve you well in our next battle.
Well, thank you, Tobiath.
You know you have 4 of them now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
And I run over to Laric. We haven't always seen eye to eye. But,
Haven't we?
Yeah, well.
What? Sorry.
You know what? I want to make sure.
Clearly.
I want to make sure that you know that I'm thinking of you.
I know that we're enemies.
I know that we're sworn enemies to the death. I know that we are. But
Hold on. Sorry.
we haven't. But I've seen, based on your battle style from range weapons seem to serve you. I've put a guiding bolt in here for you. It could also serve from the distances you tend to be during battle. So I want to
Just toss it over.
A slight diss, but you're welcome.
And Fellig, you always seem to be in the thick of it, no matter where we are when we're in trouble. You're right up in the mix, and so I've put a melee focused weapon in here for you. It's an inflict wound, something I think that you would enjoy.
Wait, a gift for me?
Yes.
What's your fourth? Who gets your fourth one?
You might break
Well, he
him.
didn't know he
with
had
joy.
a
I didn't
one,
know.
so-
I didn't
So
realize
he'll
that I
have
that
to
night.
take some time to think about it.
I'll figure it out and get it to somebody.
Okay.
You could go with the other gifts that he's given you, like the ring and the mouse. Yeah, no, I know.
No, I know.
I'm just saying.
Because just won't
It's really nice. Thank you, Tobiath.
It's a love spell.
Oh, sorry. What?
All right. Any other business?
A question.
Sure.
My new coins that I get to create with a new level, it's 200 gold pieces per level of the spell. But what about cantrips?
Cantrips.
Free?
You can mint a cantrip for free.
Awesome.
We also do have.
And really, what you're doing is you're actually choosing 2 cantrips because you get the coin.
Oh.
So you actually have 1 more cantrip than you could normally have at that level because you normally have, but you have to have 2 to have the coin. So, yeah.
Tobiath, it's
So
not
feel
to
free
say
to
I'm not
choose whatever you want.
grateful.
Yes.
Do you happen to know an invisibility spell?
He does not.
Actually,
Well,
I
actually,
do.
you
I
do. I take it back. I just realized when I said that.
May I have that instead?
Well, sure. I was just about to make a
Tomorrow.
And yes, I would love to.
Beggars
Thank
are
you.
choosers.
And Eelynn.
The
I'd like to
hand-me-down
thank
gift.
Yes.
Let me see. So I just want to be careful. You can only do 1 second level spell. The others have to be first level spells. So
They are all first level.
they're all
spells.
first level. So
Oh no, I did 1 second. I'm sorry. The guiding bolt, I put it at second level because I had that slot the
Okay.
other
So He'll be able to do that for you next
all right.
time he does it.
Yes, that's fine.
Also take.
Yeah, give it to Eelynn and I'll take invisibility next time.
You got it.
All right.
Yikes.
Thanks, Tobiath.
You almost died.
I feel so thought about.
Yeah.
You were the second person he thought of.
Almost not.
Quite honestly, when I saw you resurrected from the dead, I didn't feel the need to step right up and offer you an extra spell. I thought
It
you might be
only
able to
works
handle
once
yourself.
per day.
But it's back now.
Didn't think you wanted it.
Just, I saw you trying to talk.
Yes. Can you refresh our memory what the dragon said specifically? Just that I was supposed to be compelled to go on this journey.
He said you have a purpose.
Yes.
He said that if you pursue this purpose, that he would grant you the hidden from those who are trying to find you.
There was no meet me on Tuesday at 10 o'clock by the desert
unfortunately,
dunes.
once the scale was broken,
Yeah.
you have no more guidance as to what he wanted.
My only guidance is to protect these eggs.
Just like a middle school class assignment.
Just think of it as a sack of flour.
Even though I know it's not an attuned item, it's a phonic item, and I was just wondering if anything about the bow makes any special sense to me.
Roll history.
Okay.
Nice.
17.
The problem is that Fawn makes a lot of magic bows.
Yeah, sure.
Like there are a lot of magic bows, and this one doesn't have a whole lot of markings on it. I mean, obviously, it's probably, gives you some bonus to attack and damage, but you're not really sure of the exact specific nature of that item.
Okay.
Zing!
Identify.
Identify. Well, now you do.
Wait, hold on.
Up.
Oh.
Oh, that's so kind, sister.
Oh, put it on the ground first. Put it on the
Well,
ground
how
first.
long has it been?
Poison spray. 14. Please identify.
That is the bow of the mark.
Ooh.
This black longbow can mark any target that it successfully hits. Once marked, the creature can be targeted no matter the distance nor the level of concealment or cover without penalty up to a distance of 1,500 feet.
Dude!
So you still have to roll an attack roll,
Right.
but you don't have. You can be around a corner. You can.
They could be in bed in the next town over.
Once it is marked, and you have to successfully hit it, and choose.
You say that like you have to successfully.
Well, what I'm
hit
just
it.
saying is you have to successfully hit it. You can only have one mark at a time.
Right.
So when attacking an unmarked target, it acts as a +1 longbow. Okay. So you get +1 on that first hit. Once it's marked, any attacks you make, there are no bonuses to that attack, other than the fact that you can attack them around a corner. And
There's not even the +1.
nope, the +1 goes away. Only when you're attacking an unmarked target does that +1 count.
Okay.
But of course, it gives you a ridiculous range and concealment and cover means nothing.
Now I want
Thank you.
That's so lovely. I want to clarify before we get going and decide what we do next. What's going in the cloak? The book. Yes.
So,
8 statues.
So the book, the statues. I will give you a list of the
Items of the room.
the items of the treasure, items of value.
Okay. Are we putting our eggs in there?
No.
Don't forget the hairbrush
Diony.
that has dragon teeth. I love that.
Diony, if I may be so bold, we still have these to identify. If
Sick. It looks great on you.
I thank you.
It does. It really does. It looks really cool.
I don't know because I only have. Just kidding. Identify.
Okay. Those are claws of raking from Rashus. This set of 5 claw-like rings attached to the tips of the user's fingers. They give the wearer a +2 to hit and damage bonus when fighting unarmed, which also would count when you are shapeshifted, because you are fighting unarmed when you are fighting as a shapeshifted creature.
Then I will take them. Now, what about when I
Additionally,
use Primal Savagery? Okay.
on a successful hit, Primal Savage would work for that purpose. Additionally, on a successful hit, the target must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or bleed at the top of each round for an amount equal to the user's proficiency bonus. The bleed continues for 5 rounds and does not stack with additional attacks. So at this level, it would take 2 additional hit points every round from bleeding that it cannot stop once it fails the save.
Thank you.
Nick says, I knew
I think
that.
I'll use these.
I knew that would suit you, Declyn.
And that is one of those.
Yes.
It is one of those rare items that would work in any shape-shifted form as well. Well, I don't know if it would work as the octopus.
Oh,
You would have to have hand. Well, you could have one on each leg. You could have one on each leg. Yeah, so that would still work.
Travis, I have a quick question. Because this should have happened yesterday, or last night. When the dragon scale separated and went up to us, it kind of like got absorbed into us. Would any kind of effect have been noticeable when he did detect magic?
Yes.
On us?
Yes, all of you have a faint glow of magic.
Okay.
I meant to tell you that.
Yeah.
Did I not mention that?
Well, it could be that
You did not.
our job is done. Then that we have the blessing or the boon of the shadow dragon. Seems that we have what we need.
And I will say that if it's not the eggs we were after, we went ahead and took everything out of the room, so hopefully.
One of them is bound to be.
He will not be upset.
Something's gotta go.
What about this? What about this? What
Would
about
not have
this?
been hilarious as you get to him and he's like, I didn't know there were eggs there. What about
No.
He just wanted this. Just wanted the wolf
I just wanted that badass cloak.
Yeah.
Treasure is meant to be taken.
And lo and behold, it's going to be the glass dome that was.
Yeah. He's like, where's the dome? That was the thing I needed.
I need to protect myself.
That dome was the only thing that could stop the time disaster.
That's crazy. That would be bad.
You idiots!
You imbecile!
You really should have said something.
You should have been more specific, Mr. Dragon. That's what I would say.
Hey, I have a quick question for
Yes.
you.
Before he destroyed us.
Can Zin carry one of these?
Feasibly.
No. Well, I mean, she could carry one, but she couldn't carry it on her. She would have to concentrate the entire time on just holding it because.
Give her something.
I was wondering if an advanced attack.
She's not physical yet.
Because she had a.
Not yet. Stop reminding me.
Yeah, so she couldn't carry items on her.
Okay, I got you.
She could pick up that item and hand it to somebody. She could even carry that item, but again, she'd have to concentrate on only doing that. Like her focus would have to be on trying to hold that item.
But I appreciate you thinking of me to buy it.
Her ability to move things takes mental effort. Yeah.
So we're still dealing with a sealed door, correct?
Well, we haven't tried.
You
to do
haven't.
anything.
You have not
Done anything.
looked at any other part of this place.
No,
nor
but
have you
in
gone to the
our
door.
minds, we
In
are
your
still
minds, yes.
sealed in this
Yes.
tomb.
And 2 other hallways that
passageways.
have doors that you've not gone down.
Yes.
Now, do we want to see what's down these hallways?
Behind
or do
door
we
number
want...
3.
Yes.
Certainly.
Or
So-
do we want to leave?
I am
ready for
going to
anything.
make this a little faster.
Thank you.
I could drag this out, but there's really no need to. You could look for traps, do all that noise.
Yeah.
There's no other traps. There's no other locked doors. Most of the rest of this place is areas where people were housed, like little
Cubicles. Just cubicles.
Yeah,
Dorms.
Dorms would be the best way to describe it because there weren't really a bunkhouse. Each Oracle Arcane had their own little study. There is nothing of particular value or any books left behind. Looks like there might have been some of that stuff, but anything that wasn't in that room has turned to dust by now. It's been a couple thousand years. Anything that was paper has crumbled to nothingness.
So no snacks.
No, anything that was there's nothing of use or value outside of what was preserved in that space.
Okay, could have at least kept.
It seems like that dome not only protected the eggs, but it probably protected that entire room.
So I head back to the
Wait, sorry, question. Sorry, really quickly. Sorry. Has anything aged since he cracked that?
Not you, 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
But there was something protecting the stasis of the eggs. Was there since you said the glass is protecting other things, are things aging as we're there?
Well, I mean, it's impossible to know whether that's the staff is aging or these items are aging.
know. Okay.
But for example, that book is not a magical book. It would have disintegrated over time had it not been protected somehow.
Okay.
There's no even a faint amount of magic emanating from that book. So paper in 2,000 years would not really still be around. Unless it had some kind of
Before we leave, I just want to
special.
know. Sorry, Fellig. I just want to know before we leave.
All right, sorry. So Fellig, what you were saying?
Head to the door.
So you go back up the stairs. The door is sealed, but you very quickly see that there is a locking mechanism on this side of the door that is not arcane or a puzzle in nature, and you can open the door back up and exit.
The way we came in.
Yes. And Terengo's there.
Yeah, good.
Where have you guys been? I've been looking for you. So Terengo is out there, and his ship is still there.
Terengo's
Terengo, you
waiting
missed
for us
so much. We found something wrong.
Press the buttons in this order!
Wait, I'm sorry. Terengo has been waiting for us this whole time.
I mean,
Yep.
one
What a
night.
gem.
One night.
Yeah.
I
It's
know,
only been
but
one night,
it
but yeah.
feels like a long time.
Feels like a long time. The whole time he's like, it sounds like they're fighting a dragon.
Hey, that was good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good, Terengo.
Terengo?
Yeah. So who goes? I wasn't sure what things were jokes or what things were actually talking to Terengo. So does somebody go up and start up a conversation?
Would we be able to yell through to him the order in which to
Well,
press
I mean,
the
door's
no,
open.
you can open the door and exit.
So I didn't understand.
Yeah, no, you can open
Brian's
the door
still
and exit.
inside. Everyone else is
Be
now.
a pretty
Well, here's
bad
the thing,
secret
the door
lair if there was no way to
closed
get out
before
of
Brian
it.
could come out.
Yeah.
Brian is still there, talking through the door.
By the way, what I also like about that is like, here's the secret combination. It's like, I was there when you did it the first time. What do you think?
What do you know? Nothing at
Terengo, we found a cloak and nothing else. Let's get back on the ship.
So you say that to Terengo, but he doesn't act as if he heard you at all.
Terengo, hello? Hello? Did I do something?
Oh. This is how they're not going to be able to see us.
Wait, so it's already happened.
What the dragon said.
That's what.
I'm gonna give him a big hug. I see you, buddy. We've been through so much.
Actually, you know what? He doesn't even react to it.
But if I yank him back and forth, does he
but
move?
he doesn't. But he doesn't seem to like be aware of that action.
I punch him in the gut.
He goes, I'm coming down with something.
I try to write something
that's what I was gonna
on
do.
like on the sand or the dirt or something like that. Actually, prestidigitation to like make words appear in front of him. Just like, hello.
Nothing?
Nothing?
Now, if you remember what the dragon said, he said they would not be able to detect nor have any understanding of your presence.
Right.
Well, how are we going to get the ship to move if Terengo doesn't even know we're here?
We can't leave him here.
That's a problem.
Well, he needs to take us back, right?
We could steal the ship, but that feels bad.
Does
It's
it?
weird to say that.
How would we steal it? But he would just stop it from moving if we tried.
And actually,
also, does anyone
his
know
mechanicals are the ones
Yeah.
that really
Yeah,
fly
Fake
that
Bobby
ship.
would put a
He
stop
can't
to
even
that
fly
right
it by
away.
himself. So you would have to be able to command the mechanicals, and you very quickly notice
Would
that
fake
they
Wyland-
don't hear you
Not
or see
fake
you
Wyland.
either.
Would fake Wyland or fake Bobby know that we're there?
Nope. Nope. And you try and talk with fake Wyland or fake Bobby, and they don't see you either.
But he would see that the door
Didn't
is.
fake Bobby give his life?
It's right.
Yes.
I
believe
create
That's right.
But the door has been opened.
I create a minor illusion
And
of Terengo with his voice.
He didn't seem to notice.
He didn't notice that the door was open.
No.
Oh, wow.
What if we attuned the dragon earring and put it on him?
Can I also say, when you punched him in the gut, were you trying to do damage to him?
No,
Okay.
I wrote it
Question,
down.
Teal.
So you try to make an illusion?
Yes,
He does not seem to notice the illusion.
Teal, I have a crazy idea.
Look, I think we get it.
How long?
Maybe we don't.
How long does a dragon egg take to hatch to a dragon? Could we hypothetically fly our dragons to where we need to go?
They will still be about this big.
The other thing that I have to ask, are the dragon eggs all in the cloak at this point?
No.
Oh no, I'm not putting it down.
Understandable that, we don't want to do it. I would make one light plea towards putting it in the cloak, is that we are not currently able to hatch these. And these will not be viable forever. And we don't know when we're going to be able to hatch them. I need to learn.
And more importantly, they're fragile.
Yes.
If you drop one, it will break.
I want to.
And they stop aging when they're
These are not like super tough Game of Thrones dragon eggs that
they
can't be
cloaked
broken.
for that reason alone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's cloak them.
I would suggest that for the time being, they won't feel any pain. They'll be in a state of stasis, it seems. And so it is the safest place for them.
But I will feel pain being away from her.
You don't want to drop it, sister?
I named her Agatha.
Oh
my goodness.
That's adorable.
I didn't know what I was going to say before it came out.
Did you have inspiration?
She does.
I do.
Oh, shoot. You got to start using your inspiration so I can give you
I'm gonna
inspiration to
name
you.
mine Agatha.
Well, in the 2024... Well, hold on, Travis.
What about
in the
anger?
2024 rules, when someone already has inspiration, they can then give it to another player.
I give it to
Oh, really?
I have some, sister.
Who doesn't have it?
Cheese.
Oh.
No, you gave me a spell. Tobiath needs
Tobiath?
it.
Thank you so much.
Well, I want to put my egg into
Me as well.
cloak.
Yeah.
You don't have to take them off your person, but if
All right, that's where they are.
you can keep them
All
with
right,
you.
all right, one at a time. You're coming at me.
But I'm just
We're all
trying to.
grabbing your cloak.
I'm just making sure that.
Hold on.
Just hold it up, we're going to throw.
I know.
Diony has a moment, walks off on the sand, just whispers, "It's gonna be okay. Mama always comes back." That's a phrase I say a lot. I'll miss you. And then I put it in.
I do not want these eggs out of my sight.
Well, I guess you and I are going to get very close then.
So therefore, I will put myself in the cloak. If you insist on putting these eggs in there, if you will not listen to me and you will do what you are saying you want to do, I will not let these eggs out of my sight.
It was merely a suggestion. I wasn't trying to say that anyone needs to do anything. I just was trying to say that I felt that it was the safest place for them to be. I'm not telling you anything that you should do with the egg in your possession.
Also, who's to say I'll let you out?
Also, I would posit that if you're in stasis and can't see anything, that even if you're in the cloak, the egg is not in your sight. And in fact, it's less under your control because then someone else could pull it out and then you wouldn't know about it.
Very true.
That's
Just rocked his entire
you can
world
protect
view.
it better out of the cloak. Good point, Laric.
So when things are in stasis, they are in their own like little bubble.
Yep. Everything is being held independently of each other. So the Cloak of the Void, basically, every object has its own little pocket dimension.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a collection of bags of holding. And
Do they
every
see each
object
other?
creates its own pocket
Oh, they're in
dimension. Nope.
stasis.
No, they're just in their own little
They're,
bubble
they're
of
in their
happiness.
own stasis, and like I said, time does
but
not.
they can't be hurt.
No.
while they're in
fact,
there.
they cannot.
Right.
In that vein, I have a pitch. If we have to walk across an entire desert because we can't take a ship back, I hate to say it, Nix, but maybe you do the walking and we'll go in stasis.
Why do all of us have to walk?
Make the person who is at a disadvantage in sunlight walk through the desert by herself.
A bear wearing a cloak.
Sure.
Well,
It's attuned to me now, so I can't give it to someone else.
You
right?
can give it to
Okay.
somebody else, but you can unattune something if you want. So
If you get
attuning with
tired-
something doesn't mean that it's yours and only yours forever.
Diony, if you get tired, and others up to a weight of 500 pounds, you could jump on my disc, my floating disc, and I could
Sure.
let you.
God, why did that sound wrong?
It did.
Just
It did.
Sure.
Would it be worse if I said
Let
you
me
can jump
jump
on my
on your
floating
floating
disc?
disc.
Yeah.
That made it worse.
That
And
sounds
Fellig-
about the same.
Fellig, I was only joking. You can enter my cloak if you want, but I don't think it's wise.
Just an option, just laying out options, floating discs we could jump on.
Yes.
Options.
I'm not letting the eggs out of my sight.
All right.
Just get real close to Nyx then.
The only thing I would say is, again, your character isn't stupid. If you don't, I can understand you don't want to let them out of your sight. They're in danger out here. If you guys get into combat,
She's not exactly the most trustable person.
well, I understand what you're saying, but
There's
I'm not
safer.
saying the eggs have to go in there. I'm saying that the eggs are in danger if you guys get into combat. You do know these eggs probably won't survive, especially in the heat. They wouldn't even. I can guarantee that the Frost Slayer dragon won't survive the heat. Just a day out here in the desert. So the fragility of these eggs, and you can feel it. You can feel the egg in your hand.
Sure.
You know that these things are. They're about as vulnerable as a creature can be.
Fellig, I know that I'm a thief, and that
There,
gives
she
you
just
good
said
reason.
It. That's it. You don't get the eggs. Go on.
Go on.
It's obvious at this point I'm a thief, but I promise you that no harm is going to come to that egg. All right?
My concern is this is a brand new cloak in our world. How can we trust that we know exactly what it's going to do?
Do you want to go in this cloak and see what it's like in there?
No, you said you do. I promise we'll pull you back out
I wonder if
soon.
it tickles.
Why does everybody seem so untrustworthy right now?
Look it in. It's nice.
You can trust me that if you go in there with Chance, there's no way I will not get you out.
Oh, yeah.
Would Chance be in a separate bubble than me?
And I actually wanted to ask him after you go in some things that we might be able to do.
Not
Oh, all right, then throw me in there and ask your questions. Let's go.
Not if he is with you. You will be anything that you are holding. In fact, you can take the egg with you, and you can go in, and you will still all remain together in
Cloak me.
stasis.
All right. Come on in. The water's fine.
You just have to flourish the cloak around you. You don't even have to be. Yeah.
Like a bull.
Fighter.
Yeah. All right, so I put
Magician I've ever seen.
And like that, he's just swallowed by the cloak and gone without even a
Let's
whistle.
go. Cheerio.
I have a question for you.
Do you want to put the rest of the eggs in there while?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're talking, the
Yeah.
eggs go in. I have a question for you because I can see through Chance's eyes. Can I communicate with him in there? Or is he cut off? Okay.
He's cut off. He's in a pocket dimension. He is,
Okay.
for all intents and purposes, in a different plane.
You know way too much about Fellig then.
Oh, I haven't even shared with any of you what I've been building up about Fellig over these many,
Let's
many
pull
days.
him out
Oh,
now.
wait,
I
Can we
might.
can't just get 10 more seconds?
I mean, problem
Just-
solved,
just a second,
right?
does
Let's
it-
just keep going.
No, I might make the argument that once he goes into stasis with Chance, that because Chance is his familiar, wouldn't the familiar reappear with him?
So, no, because my understanding
Okay.
of the new familiar rules would be that would only happen if the familiar was. Now he could redo the spell and recall the familiar,
Got it.
but unless the familiar goes to 0 hit points, it doesn't disappear from where it is, and because.
Got it.
Ironically, the new familiar rules, they have their own little pocket dimension familiars. And when they die, they go to a pocket dimension, and then you can recall them. So the new
They
find
changed.
familiar is and also you have the
Changed
same
the
familiar,
rules,
but you can bring them out in different forms, which is interesting. So you
So
could
I
have
could re-
you
I
could have a
could-
cat, and then you could the next time you cast the spell and bring, like if the cat died, you could bring it out as a monkey or something like that. It's a very interesting.
could
code.
memories.
I actually really like the new familiar rules because it really makes it impossible kill off your familiar. Like, because I hated that. I almost didn't do familiars anymore because
No
it
animal
was so
violence.
hard to get. Well, it was so hard to keep them alive too,
have
and especially in the old school D&D. Like when a fireball went off and like everything took damage that was on you. Back in the old school days, in first and second edition, if you got hit with a fireball, technically everything that was on you got hit with that fireball, and you would have to like roll to see if it affected your other items and stuff, and you could lose magical items, and it was it's terrible.
So you're saying if I chose to, I could recall him from her rather than her
By
releasing
If you
casting
him to-
the
cast
spell
the
again, I
spell
believe.
over again, the spell is, I believe, an hour.
Yeah.
So you could technically do that.
I'm not going to. I'm just exploring
Hey,
what's
hey,
Would you like, although I am loving what's
this
going
is-
on
this
over
is-
here, would you like to bring him back out of the
Why
closet?
doesn't everyone just take a deep breath, enjoy the moment, and then let's bring Fellig
Yeah.
back?
You know,
Clear out
you
here.
know who would really love this? Chance. He would really. No, I'm not going to do that to him. I made him a promise that I would come in after him.
Besides, it would take you.
This is deeply good for Fellig. This is meditation.
Honestly, he seems probably happy in there. Like, he's just
really
meditating.
You know, to him,
He's in
no time will have passed.
No time will have passed. He'll be exactly the same.
Whether he's there a day or an hour or a week,
Or
right?
10,000 years.
Can I admit something? Now that he's gone, I kind of miss him.
Nice.
Like, who's gonna object every single thing we do?
Right?
Right.
I know, I kind of missed that.
All right.
all right,
Talk to
all
it.
right.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring it
All
back.
right, can we put it to a vote then? Do we bring Fellig back out?
No,
Yes.
we told him
Yeah,
we
we
would bring
would.
him back.
Yeah.
We're
It's just
bringing
when.
him back.
It's just when.
No,
Just
we're
do it
bringing
now.
him back.
Yes, of course.
Otherwise, how is he going to trust us the next
Of course.
time?
know how
And
much
I,
time
and
we
I,
have.
and
All right,
I
we should bring him
promised him
back.
he wouldn't stay in there. That's a fact.
We should
Okay.
bring him back.
Jeez.
So-
15 minutes later. All
An
right.
hour later.
Okay.
Yes, I'm dying to see what he experienced.
Sure. Bring him back out.
Do I have to?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Bring back the Fellig.
She reaches in and lets him back out.
All right. The cloak billows outward, and you appear before her.
Come on, are we doing this or what?
We just did.
You just did.
You
No,
come
go
on.
on.
Let's do this.
You
I
were
wanna
in
see
the
what
cloak.
this is
You were
like.
in the cloak.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
I
All
was
right, all right.
not.
He doesn't believe us. Let's walk a little bit.
Hop back in.
Yeah.
Get back in.
All
We'll
right.
walk a little bit, and then we'll take you
Yes,
back out.
let's do this for once.
All right, let's
Okay.
do it. He's in,
All right. So he's in.
and we walk for an hour.
No, just have it onto the ship.
Yes,
Yes.
get on the ship.
Onto the ship.
Onto the ship.
All right, so we're in a different location on the ship. Take him out.
What's going on?
Told you we did it.
Is Terengo looking like he's gonna give up and pack up anytime soon?
Well, I mean, you probably do hear him talking to the, and
Mechanicals.
that he probably says if you wait around long enough, you'll probably hear him talk about the fact that he'll wait for maybe one more day, and then he's got to get back to
How many
But-
days do we have?
We have 15 days left.
Okay.
I've been writing it down. How far away is Mirage from here? But like how far in distance?
Oh, I see.
Let me see here. Well,
What if
take a look at the
instead of
map.
setting the sail, we just row the airship?
With Terengo on it.
Hold on. How did I get on the ship?
We put you in the cloak. We told you this,
I will
Fellig.
take Fellig aside and explain.
Wait, where are we again?
It looks to be.
And that's what stasis means.
About 50
All
miles
right.
from here.
About 50 miles. Not impossible to cross on foot, but I don't want to do it.
I mean, you can cross that in comfortably. You could probably cross that in 10 miles a day, because you can only walk so far. Now, keep in mind that you're in the sands of midnight, so it's not as hot as it would be in a regular desert because it is dusk. It is constantly dusk here.
Nice.
So you don't have the oppressive heat that you would in a normal desert, but it's still mostly sand.
10 miles a day.
10 miles of sand,
That's
yeah.
not much.
It is when you're walking in sand, my friend. Go down to the beach and walk a mile, and then tell me how much 10 miles.
Is there a way these mechanicals can be tinkered with to potentially just take us where we need to go and let Terengo figure it out?
If one of us was a
alone in the
mechamancer,
desert?
then yes, but I don't really understand the workings of these mechanicals well enough to
You
do
could
that.
force yourself to go farther and faster. I'm just saying 10 would be fairly comfortable, and you wouldn't.
Exhaustion.
Yeah, exhaustion is a concern.
Okay.
If we can find a way to make the ship move a little bit, Terengo would get nervous and climb aboard, right?
Yes, but then he might try and drive it back to his home.
He likely would.
He would.
No guarantee that he would go where we want him to go, especially if there's no one there to pay him to do so.
All right.
You wouldn't even see our money if we paid him.
Well, I think the best option is to not walk 50 miles on sand, but to fly on dragonback.
That's
These
what I said.
dragons
Are
are
in
this
eggs.
big.
We don't know how strong they are.
Can we
Also,
summon
one
the
of them-
shadow dragon?
That would be our only choice.
Shadow dragons do not get
Shadow dragon,
summoned.
shadow dragon, shadow dragon.
It's
Nothing. Nothing. happens.
You need a mirror, I believe, to say that into a mirror.
yes.
Makes sense. Thank you, Declyn.
I know he can't hear us, but if we sort of talked in Terengo's ear, said it's time to go, Terengo. It's time to go to Mirage.
Did anyone
You try that for about 15 minutes. It doesn't seem to have any effect.
What punch him in the stomach?
Are you trying to damage?
A little bit.
All right, so you're at least doing 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
You punch him hard in the stomach, and again he coughs. You're not doing damage to him.
I know we tried writing something in the sand, but what if we wrote something on parchment, left it on the ship, and then left the ship? Is there some sort of
Distance.
bubble
Of effect.
non-detection that once we left that he could
If
see
we
it?
run away, and then we come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we're the bubble.
All right, so you spend about an hour experimenting with leaving notes, moving away, coming back. Doesn't seem to have any effect.
And we are not able to.
And the paper is
There
in
be
this.
ink just all over his face.
You can try.
Oh, just when we come back.
And we are not able to maneuver the ship and sail it or get it moving ourselves.
Yeah.
Because it will man the sails.
Make an intelligence check collectively, which I think would be yours would be the highest. So with advantage, just as this is a group. No, this is a group intelligence check.
So just straight intelligence is going to be a 15.
7.
So 15.
Oh, plus.
It's not.
You're
it's
starting
just-
to
Oh, he pointed just to you.
feel like what may be happening here is you are perceiving that you're writing on his face or writing on the sand. It may be that you're perceiving that, but that's not what's actually happening. That it may be that you're not affecting the world the way that you think you should be affecting the world. Because they're not, because you don't seem to be able to do him damage. You can even ramp it up a little bit and try and cut him or bludgeon him or attack him. That doesn't seem to be having any effect. It has a moderate effect, like if you try to slash at him, he might go like he has an itch. But there's no actual effect happening there. So when you leave a piece of paper, you may be thinking you're leaving a piece of paper, but you might not be leaving a piece of paper in this world or in this time, right? You're out of phase, in other words. That is what you would come to the conclusion of. It's not that you're invisible or you're not in phase with this existence. Although you're still feeling the sun, you're still feeling the wind, so you are still a part of this world. You're just not in the proper phase with everybody else.
Seems the magic goes both ways. Which honestly does have me a bit concerned for when we get to Mirage and get to where we're going. But we'll deal with that when we get there.
Right.
So how are we going to get there? Are we going to walk? Or are we going to... I think we're wasting so much time trying to convince Terengo and he can't see us.
No.
I think we just have to start walking, and maybe something we'll come across something that will get us there faster.
And just before we head off into the desert.
Embark on a journey.
Embark on a journey into the desert. Can you make us water and stuff like that?
We could store up
believe I
provisions
can.
on the ship inside the cloak.
Yeah.
If we believe
Well,
they're real,
but
then they're
could-
probably delicious.
But could we? Because if we're out to phase, then could we take things from the ship?
Want to give it a try?
Yeah. Raid the pantry.
All right. You go in there. There's a barrel of water there and some food. No. The water that is in that barrel does not. Now you feel like you're picking up water, but when you're not feeling like you're drinking. You can take that apple and you can try and bite into it, but you're not affecting that apple and it doesn't feel like you're taking food into your mouth.
To contrast, I take a cracker out of my bag and taste
Tastes
it.
delicious. Well, it tastes like a cracker.
Yeah, it tastes like, it's a delicious cracker.
Yeah.
Well, I
Mouth
guess
is
it
so
doesn't
dry.
matter. So
All right.
we should
Well,
just-
if need be, I can create water and I can create food.
Right.
Brilliant.
Good berries.
And I have ration.
Good berry.
Yes, let's go.
By the way, those DMs at home, this is only the kind of trick you pull if you have a druid in the party, or else you will starve them to death.
No, we could all get into the cloak and then she
That's
just
another way.
And then
And only
I
one of
get
you would
to
starve to
hoof
death.
it,
Right.
and
just
I
take-
stop.
Yeah.
Just take
Hope
turns.
that your body's
You're
found
almost
one
dead.
day.
Take turns walking.
Yeah.
Each of us walks for
So,
a day.
fast forward 3 years later, when the effect wears off and you find a skeleton in the desert wearing a cloak.
Oh my God. Morbid.
All right,
I guess we start walking.
On
So-
the road again.
start walking.
I don't see
Start
any other
walking.
option, right?
And again, I would say about the 10 miles. Again, you can stretch that. I personally have journeyed in the desert. 10 miles is a long way in the desert, and not suffer from dehydration and all those other things. It's just the desert's just 10 miles is,
I'm
I
not
think,
gonna-
more than you realize.
Yeah, but at twilight, it's like, like
No,
so,
I mean,
so I
you're
get
right.
it. I get
you're
it.
right, but it will make you more tired than you'd think.
Sure.
what
From a D&D perspective, you can go farther than that. You will just get to the point where
We'll
you
start
might.
getting exhaustion.
Well, how far can we go without
Another
getting
good
exhausted?
barrel.
Yeah,
would
we
we?
walk in the direction of Mirage for 10 miles.
Or more.
So the other problem that you're going to is making sure that you're going to the
right
direction of Mirage.
Oh,
Don't we have basic compasses on us?
I have
You
a
do, but
navigator's kit. I have a navigator's kit.
That'll help.
You have a very high survival skill too.
And he's got a giant computer in his stick.
And you also have
No, I'm good with.
you have Fellig is got survival as a trait.
Yep.
So I will allow, especially since you have a navigator's kit, so you can add +2. Might as well have him roll off of his survival, but you add the +2 and you get advantage because he's helping you.
Great.
So go ahead and make that roll.
So I actually got 20.
So yeah, you are, at least you guys think that you're headed in the direction of Mirage. Yep, you think. Now,
It's called
here's
Mirage.
the other thing
Yeah.
about Mirage.
It's a
not
mirage.
designed to be found.
It's a
Remember,
mirage?
it is only on.
The
It is
surface
only
that-
viewable at night.
At night, it's
technically,
underground during
because
the
it's
day.
underground during the day. So it's beneath the sands. So, but and I don't think any of you have been to Mirage. So you're just going off of, the charts that you were able to look at. You were at least able to look at things back in Terengo's ship, so you know approximately where you should be going, and you were able to make notes and so forth. So you continue on. I'm going to again make this move a little faster. I'm going to say 4 days go by.
4 days.
Make another survival check to see whether you guys make good time.
Okay. Just advantage and
Yes, because you can always get advantage because you have Fellig.
Right.
Because Fellig can assist.
Yep.
This isn't a navigation check, so you don't get the +2, but you get the advantage.
Oh, I don't get the so 28.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we survived.
So 28. I'm gonna carve another day off that. So 3 days. You're able to make good time. And as the sun dips down at the end of the 3rd day, you see an amazing sight out in the sands of the desert.
I mean, this is 3 days of us sucking on our rocks, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's 3 days of rock sucking and good burying and
What does yours
and
taste
creating
like?
water.
Rock. Ice cream.
So you see out in the dunes. You're on one.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
3 days. Could you identify what these gloves are? Also, I walk off into the desert every night naked.
All right. I was
going to ask that too.
I will let you identify the rest of the items in those 3 nights. Let me get through this.
Okay.
And recast fumble proof.
Yes. Standing on a particularly high dune, you see off in the valley beneath you as the final rays of sunlight, of Lalila's light, dip down over the horizon. You see a massive dome. Must be 20 miles around.
And I pop it.
Slowly rise from the desert sands as the sand slides off the dome, and the city of Mirage, a city of darkness and magic and twinkling lights, a city that looks strangely alive, but at the same time not real, like a mirage, lifts out into the desert. And at the center of that city, a beacon breaks through the dome and out up into the night sky. And you know instantly when you see it that that is the Infinity Well, the source of power for the city of Jakar, and a place that we will visit starting the final chapter next time on Dungeon Call.
Final chapter.
Final chapter.
Right.
We're here. We made it.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on our journey. Please join us next week as we do start the final 8th chapter of Season 1 of Dungeon Call.
And we'll find out what these things
And we
do.
will find out what those things are.
And this ring.
And I'm sure that we will shuffle around the objects and we will finally visit a city that we've been talking about for like months and months.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe, ring that bell and all that fun stuff, and we will
Tell
see you
people
again.
about the show.
Please, please do. All right, take care, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.